Tapos, nilibing ng buhay yung asawa ko, hindi siya naniwala, babaw daw eh. Ang babaw daw. O ngayon, tingnan ko mababaw pa to. Hindi na ako pwede tumalun sa mababaw, hindi ako masasaktan lang ako. Pero, ayoko na po, hindi ko na po kaya itong laban na ito. Panalo na po lahat ng mga nagdadasal na matapos ako sa sa trahedya talaga. Kaya bibigay ko na lang po yung gusto niyong lahat. Bibigay ko na lang. Hindi ako nagdodroga kasi wala na kami makain eh. Wala kami matirahan. Parang pinapalabas nila na inuuna ko pa yun. Basta abangan nyo lang mamaya para makita nyo na rin yung katapusan ko. Total, nanonood naman kayo, di ba? Lahat naman kayo inuhusgan ako eh. Sana po, ito po talaga yung gusto nyo mangyari sa akin. Gagawin ko na po. Gahanap na ako ng gusali na mataas-taas.
Yan po ang pinakahuling video na napanood natin tungkol kay Megan Aguilar. Marahil marami po sa inyo ang nagtatanong kung nasa na siya ngayon. At dito nga sa Over Easy Restaurant sa Marikina, natin siya imimit para kumustahin. Pero bago yan, subscribe muna kayo sa aking channel at kay Christine Babau's channel. Guys, kasama na natin Miss Megan Aguilar. Megan, welcome to my channel.
Hello. Good day, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, lahat na.
Lahat na, no?
Thank you, Julian.
It's good to see you.
Thank you for this opportunity.
It's really good to see you, no? Kasi the last time na nakita kita sa video, yung nag-live ka sa Facebook, it was disturbing, no?
Yes.
To be honest, no?
Yeah, it was.
Hindi ko alam kung ano yung naglalaro sa isip mo noon, but you were contemplating on, you know, ending it all.
Yes.
And then stop, nabitin. Hindi ka na namin nakita, wala na kaming balita tungkol sa'yo. And it's good to see you now, doing well and healthy. Yeah. So tell us about that. Ano nangyari pagkatapos ng video?
Actually, nung nangyari yon, I was 100% clear on dying. Kasi things didn't pan out. Senator Tulfo at that time backed out on helping. And I just didn't know where to go. Now, syempre, I can say no hard feelings sa Senator. Sorry, Senator, if I said terrible things. At that time, did terrible things. Kasi po, it's part of nung nangyayari. It was a hopeless and helpless situation. Pero God continued to use people to help me that time. So, yung moment na yon, nakaakyat ako ng building. I ended up in Poblacion, Makati. No? Kasi nga, we were staying in the house of my partner's tita sa Mandaluyong. And nung nalaman ko nga na back out na yung Tulfo, back out na sa pagtulong, wala na akong maisip na way para maka-survive or maka-go on with my life. So, yun, naglakad ako from Mandaluyong, naglakad ako medyo blanco, pero klaro na gusto ko. And then until nakaabot ako sa isang building doon na may hagdanan pataas, so umakyat ako. Pag akyat ko, parang movie scene yung inabutan ko kasi there were 4 doors in this building, but all doors had padlocks, malaki pa sa ulo ko. So it's like, no, why? I want to die. And then, from the time na nag-video ako, na nagpapaalam na ako sa mga anak ko, nagrarant ako ng galit, yung phone ko walang tigil sa kaka-ring. Ring ng ring, ring ng ring. It was actually a live streamer. It was a live streamer on Kumu na nakasama ko before in a stream kasi I used to do Kumu live. I used to do that. So doon ko lang siya naging acquaintance. I didn't know him personally. But he would not stop calling, won't stop calling until sinagot ko na yung tawag niya. Kasi I'm standing in front of these 4 gigantic padlocks, di ba? Sinagot ko na, ano ba? Huwag mo lang tawagan. Sabi niya, Ate Migs, ate, nakamotor na kami ni Mrs. Asan ka? Pupuntahan ka namin. And because I could not self anymore, kasi nga walang way, umuon na lang ako, sige na, sunduin niyo ako, I'm in Poblacion. And, yun, when they saw me, talagang mukha akong baliw sa kalsada. I was so thin, I was not fully there. Na, I was broken, no? And they just fed me, gave me something to drink, calmed me down na, ate, yung asawa niya, lalo na yung wife, sabi niya, ate, idol kita, yung mga, na parang, I forgot who I was. I thought I was really a speck of mud. And when she said that, parang ako, sino ba ako? Parang ganon. So, it was an awakening experience, reminding me who I am. Pero syempre not fully confident in being Megan Aguilar.
Yeah.
Kasi kahihiya eh. Kahihiya si Megan Aguilar. She's a loser, she's a failure. She just lost it. Parang ganon. But then, in my heart, parang sabi pa rin ni God, something is pushing me to live. Parang ganon.
Pero nung time na kinausap ka nila, immediately pa nawala na agad, na-realize mo na hindi mo na dapat ginawa yun? O hindi mo na gagawin ulit?
Hindi pa.
Yung tangang yun?
Hindi pa. Kasi pagod na pagod ako. I was physically exhausted. Because that time, I experienced with my partner a year of being homeless. Because of, yun nga, sa pandemic, we lost our online business. Nag-spiral down lang. And at that time, many doors were closed for us. Ganon.
So itong taon tumulong sa'yo, ano ang pangalan niya?
Huwag na natin kumpletuhin for their privacy, but his name was Destiny.
Wow. Do you find that coincidental?
Parang coincidental, di ba?
Destiny, that you were on the verge of deciding on your destiny. Kung anong pupuntahan mo.
Parang,
no?
ano nga, nagkakaroon ng divine intervention.
So
kahit
if you feel na ano yan, it's God's work na hindi natuloy yung plano mo?
Of course, it's God's work. Kasi it wasn't, kasi I have best friends for 39 years. I have best friends for 10 years. And yet, hindi sila yung tumawag sa akin at that moment. Kasi it was late. It was like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., parang ganun eh. But it was this just acquaintance on Kumu that happened to be a fan also.
Na hindi mo friend at all, no?
Hindi talaga.
Wala kayong pinagsamahan?
Wala. Except from that moment, bigla kaming nagkaroon ng may pinagsamahan. And you know what? When he helped, tumulong lang talaga. And then, parang, nag-iba na yung, ano ko, yung path. It just kept bringing me closer and closer to people na willing tumulong.
What was going through your mind when you were doing that live stream? Kasi may iba nagsasabi na parang hindi naman seryoso yan, nagpapansin lang, pero hindi niya naman itutuloy yan. May mga ganong mga comments. But ikaw, siguro sabihin mo na kung ano talaga yung naglalaro sa isip mo nung time na yun. Ano ba talaga?
Wala lang. Parang gusto ko lang matapos kasi parang feeling ko, ang tagal-tagal ko lang nahihirapan. I thought I had depression and anxiety. That's what kasi that's how you feel eh.
Yeah.
Pero parang, in the end, it was just God closing worldly doors. Parang ganon. He was closing the world on me. So I can just go to Him and wala na akong mapuntahan. Parang ganon. Pero syempre, it was in a span of months, that realization. Kasi you won't believe at first what's happening to you eh. Ang alam ko lang, pagod na ako, gutom ako, I just want to sleep. I don't want to worry about work or money. Pero where am I gonna do that? Diba? And so yun nga, after what happened with Senator Tulfo, ayun, I got a call from Puledesma's assistant. Not so far. Siguro mga 1 or 2 months lang. Ganun lang kabilis. And then after that, yun, she helped me stay in a retreat center. And that's where I started to live that life na not worrying about money, not worrying about work, just sleep and eat and recover. And it was a nice place to recover. Kasi syempre, faith-based Christian area.
Yeah.
And I got back into the Bible studies. And that is really what helped me face you now.
Matagal ka ng Christian talaga, di ba? Nawala yun?
Nawala, I fell away. I first became Christian at 20 years old.
At 20.
And it was a solid 4.5 years of my life. I was really devoted to Jesus Christ. But I was too young, and the challenges were different.
Yeah.
And I was a viajera at the time. I was touring Europe and US and Canada and Japan and Hong Kong. So how can you think of, kasi nung time na yun, I was in a Young Zealots class already kasi I was really into it. I would fast, basta I did all these things. I was abstaining, yung mga ganyan. But then, they were saying, if you're gonna be full-time in the church, you have to stop the gigs. I was like, no way!
Ayun.
Sabi ko, I cannot. I'm really
Why
enjoying.
can't you do both? Pwede namang
that time,
sing praises, di ba? Songs of praises.
Yeah, pero there was that pressure on me kasi parang they wanted me to be a preacher, ganon. They wanted me to go into the theology classes and all. I was too young.
Nung time na yan, si Kuna kasama mo?
Yes. And I was doing my discipleship studies in her house. I was also part-time working in her studio for vocal arranging or for music, ganyan. But then, yun nga when that pressure was on me, na I had to choose, I chose to travel. And so I fell away. But the seed remained. Kasi I always did the Dear God journals. So that's something that I didn't stop. Kahit nung wala na ako sa Christian community ko, I still continued. Kasi I just kept refusing to just trust.
So tinalikuran mo yun, yung aspeto na yun?
And then 2018, I even converted to Islam because of tatay.
Really?
Yeah, I was a Muslim for a good 2018, 19, 20, 21. A good 3 years of my life, I was a Muslim. Kasi I really lost my Christian community. And I couldn't find anywhere to have a parang spiritual community or support group. Because, you know, I know the experience of being in a spiritual community and how strong you can be with these people. Kasi, ano kayo dyan you're in a Bible group, you open up the truth about yourself. Wala kang itatago dyan kasi you're confessing it. That's the thing with the Bible studies. It teaches you to confess so that God hears what you did from your mouth, and if you ask forgiveness for that, He erases it from the book of records. So, this is a practice that I continue. Pero, hindi pala ganun sa lahat. Hindi ganun. There are some religious communities not open to those things because it's too revealing. Parang ganun. So, parang, na-lost na naman ako, nawala ako yan sa community. Kasi parang, I was looking for, I want this honest to goodness group where I can just lay it all down. And so, God heard the prayers, diba? That's how I see it now. Yung pag-isip kong yung talagang nagsara yung mundo, the world closed on me, because He just wanted me to go home. Parang, you don't have anyone anymore. Ako na lang ang natitira. Parang ganon. So,
part of the plan. No?
It's part
lahat
of
na
the
nangyari
plan.
sa'yo.
Because now, when I pray for something, it's not taking 7 years anymore before it's granted. Now, it's granted in days.
Days lang.
And that's why I'm here in front of you now, because this is a chance for me to talk and to somehow kwento ko rin yung side ko kasi we've heard everyone else. And everyone else nga, hindi pa nga involved diba? It's just, may napanood sila sa akin, bumase sila dun sa pinanood nila, at shinare nila yung opinion nila. Without really
knowing who you are.
Knowing who I am.
And what's inside you.
Or asking me what really happened. And of course, that is also part of God's plan.
Talk about drugs. Paano ka na-involve sa drugs? Anong taon yan, nung una kang gumamit?
Naku, parang 2009, nung na-realize ko na tinangay yung anak kong lalaki. Kasi I was married to the first, yung papa nung eldest ko. And then, syempre, it was like a whirlwind romance, bigla na lang. Alam mo yung mga ganong kwento. And then, wala akong foundations of marriage. I didn't believe it. Kasi nga, I come from a liberal family. Di ba? My father's a rock star. My mom's a socialite. So, it's a different world. And so, parang kinasal lang kami para yung anak namin maging dual citizen, American and Filipino. Pero, 3 years later in our marriage, LDR ha, long distance kasi
nasa abroad siya.
States. Biglang, there were talks na yung pipetition na kami ng anak ko, mga ganun. And then, of course, ang nangyari nga, in short, is yung anak ko lang yung umalis. And that was the moment I kind of went nuts.
What year was this?
2009.
2009.
Oo. So, parang ganon, when I first did siya, it was for 6 months of that year. And then when that happened again, it was in 2015 for a few months, 2018 for a few months. Hindi siya yung...
On-off.
Hindi siya dire-diretso kasi nga, nangyayari lang sa akin if I feel too depressed. Parang ganon. Pero yun nga, when I was in the retreat center, and I joined the activities there was also a rehab program. It made me realize na kahit putol-putol siya, you still did it. Parang ganon. So I had to accept that na, oo, I did become addicted. Parang ganon. Pero yun nga there's a lot of, you put a lot of justifications in your head for it. But what I learned in the program is, for you to recover, it's actually just a decision you have to make. Na you choose, are you gonna recover or are you gonna relapse? And so, because of God's grace in my life, I decided to recover. And that's it. Ngayon, dahil nga sa sobrang dami ng blessings ni God sa akin. From that place, ilang buwan lang ako. I even got the chance to live in Hacienda Isabela in Tita Ku's property for a month. And then, God made a way for me to be on my own again. And now, on my own, hindi ko iniisip ang droga. And then, yung partner ko din, umuwi siya ng Pampanga. And he's also okay. Alam mo yun, yung God is giving us all these opportunities and chances. Why would I go back? Why would I do those things again? Kaya ko lang nagawa kasi nga, survival. Parang, sorry, meron talagang mundong ganon na nag-i-exist. Hindi lahat ng tao ay cookie-cutter lives or they live in boxes and everything is perfect. There is also a kind of imperfect life. And I went through that. And now, I see it and I don't ever want to go back to in doing those things again. Yun. Ayoko na. Anak na ako ni God ngayon.
Pero binabanggit mo na everything's going well for you now. Ano yung mga yun? Ano yung mga blessings na dumarating sa'yo?
Well, yung na-meet ko kasi, meron akong recently na-meet na pastor and his wife, their family. And I became part of their physical Bible talk. Kasi ngayon, yung recent Bible talks ko are online. One is with Tita Ku, the other one is with Doug and Cheska Kramer. Ayun. So, nung nag-open yung doors na yun, sobrang happy na ako kasi parang kahit paano may tumatanggap sa'yo At yung tumatanggap sa'yo, Christian community na hindi ka huhusgahan. So appreciative. And then, nung umalis na ako ng Hacienda, hindi ko pa talaga alam kung anong mangyayari. I had to counsel. I had to go through some counseling. And lo and behold, I counseled with the correct people. And so the physical Bible talk that I have now, they chipped in for me. And I was able to secure an apartment in Tagaytay because of this. And then, nung birthday nung anak ko nga, November 12, she turned 10. So, syempre yung party niya muna sa daddy niya. And then yung next week na I get to spend time with her. From the beginning of November, I have been praying to God, saying na, Lord, gusto ko pong ma-celebrate yung birthday ng anak ko sa bahay ni tatay. Ganon. Gusto ko talaga po. Kasi I miss my family. Ang hirap ng walang pamilya eh. Ang hirap. And decade yata yung dumaan na I'm alone. Kasi nga, ano yung pride mo, yung uunahan ka ng fear. Di ba na parang, wag ka nang lumapit so di ka naman tatanggapin eh. All these things pala are from the enemy, you know? It's the demons telling you, or the Satan telling you that you cannot do anything right. So ito yung pinaglabanan ko this time because of my prayers. And nagkatotoo. Nakauwi ako sa amin.
Paano?
Na hindi ako hanggang gate lang.
Paano pumayag si Ka Freddy na?
Through my daughter na nakatira sa kanya. Kasi I just want to remind the audience also that I have 3 kids. All panganay. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. Yeah. And my eldest is in the States with his dad. Bunso is with her dad here in Parañaque lang. And then my 13-year-old, siya talaga yung nakatira sa akin. Pero nung 2021, I had to give her to tatay muna. Kasi pandemic, wow. Yeah. Anyway, so yan yung setup. So, since naka-block ako, sabi naka-block ako kay tatay, di ba? Dinaan ko sa anak ko, anak, tanong mo naman kay Lolo kung pwede kaming pumunta dyan. Kasi nagkataon din yung daughter ko, yung bunso, tinanong ko rin siya. Sabi ko, what do you want to do for your birthday? You want to go with mommy? We'll pick up Anaya, we'll go back to Tagaytay? Or we'll go to Lolo's house? Eh siya talaga, Lolo's house! Kasi she misses her cousin, her titos, and everyone. So, sabi ko, wow, God, this is my chance. Kasi yung anak ko rin gusto. Pumapabor. Pumapabor lahat. So, tinanong ko, anak, tanong mo naman kay tatay kung pwede kami dyan kasi si Mahi, namimiss na tayo, ganyan. Sabi ba naman ng anak ko, Mami, pwede daw, pero overnight lang daw, ganyan-ganyan. Okay po, sabi mo, thank you. And then, syempre, pumunta na kami. Hindi ko pa nakita agad si tatay kasi late kami nakarating para Parañaque to Fairview, medyo traffic, di ba? Pero pray pa rin ako ng pray. Sabi ko, Lord, thank you. Nakapasok ko sa bahay namin. Lord, thank you. Pinapasok ako ni tatay. Parang gano'n. And then yung mga anak ko, saya-saya nila. Ang saya-saya namin na parang, wow, magkakasama kami ulit. And then kinabukasan nun for breakfast. Ayun na. Paglabas ko, yung chair katabi ni tatay, yung walang laman. So, ibig sabihin, uy, doon ako. Doon ako uupo. O di, pag upo ko, good morning po tay, ganyan. O, hi anak, kumusta? May mga small talk, parang after a decade of estranged, of being rejected, all of a sudden, our father and daughter relationship is just rekindled.
Bumalik sa dati.
Rekindled like a slight switch. Parang, wow. And then, after nun, tumayo na sila Jovi, si Jovi yung wife ng daddy. Niyakap din ako nun when she saw me, Ate Megs, ganyan. And I appreciate that. No? But anyway, tumayo na sila, kami ni tatay natira. Sabi ko, tay, namiss kita. Ang daya-daya mo kasi ang bata ng itsura mo, mukha akong lola. Sabi niya, di naman nak, maganda ka naman. Sabi ko, tay, payakap ako. Sige anak. 10 years. Parang gano'n, 9-10 years na. A decade
of no
na,
communication.
Hindi naman no communication, pero yung makahug ako physically.
Walang gano'n.
Parang ayaw niya noon.
What was the trigger? Bakit, aside from, he knows that yung mga bulong-bulong sa kanya na gumagamit ka ng drugs, pero bakit naniwala siya doon?
Si tatay, he has his own limits as a person, right? Like all of us. And ayaw niya yung mga ganun eh. Dahil nga, feeling niya, personal kong pinagdadaanan yon. So, diba, pwede ako magpaliwanag sa kanya, kung hindi siya maniwala, di problema pa namin pareho yun, diba? So, parang ganun siya mag-react in those times. So, parang he doesn't want to really be there and involved in all the details. Kasi nga, parang, iniisip niya pa rin na, kaya ko yun. Parang ganon. Parang sasabihin niya pa rin sa sarili niya, wala naman ako
kahit hindi na kaya.
Parang wala naman ako masasabi dyan, nasusundin niya, wala na siya, kaya niya na yan. Parang ganon.
So even in the past, talagang tinitiis ka niya? Pag may mga times na kailangan mo ng tulong?
Kasi I always prove myself.
Pinag-usapan niyo ba yung mga nakaraan o hindi na?
Oo, sabi ko, Tay, thank you na tinanggap mo kami. Tinanggap mo ako. Alam mo, sabi lang niya, basta ituloy-tuloy mo ang pag-reform mo, anak. Always welcome kayo here.
Oh, wow. Grabe.
So, yun.
So, galing sa kanya yung tingin mo?
Nakakaiyak. Kasi,
Galing sa kanya?
galing kay God. Kasi walang makakahipo ng puso ng tao. Kung tao lang ang gagawa. It's God that touches the hearts of people for you when it's time for Him to answer your prayers. Kasi there's a time for it. Hindi siya agad binibigay unless ikaw mismo gustuhin mo na pagtiwalaan mo siya.
How would you describe the feeling nung nag-usap na kayo ni tatay?
I felt victorious. Parang for the longest time, I will sit in a place and I will be the most hopeless, helpless, most miserable in that place. I will be the one crying and telling everyone yung masama na pinagdadaanan ko. And all of a sudden, because of God's grace, I'm sitting with my father. And I'm feeling so victorious kasi I know hindi ko yun kaya kung ako lang.
Hello!
Hello.
Freddy!
Tol.
Hi, Tay!
Kasama ko si Megan.
Oo nga, sabi na.
Ano, kamusta ka?
Okay naman, ito, medyo buhay pa rin sa awa ng mahal na Allah.
Lakas-lakas mo pa? Anong reason kung bakit muli mong tinanggap si Megan?
This time, nung kausapin ako ng apo ko si Anaya, I felt like it is the right time. Kasi sa tingin ko naman sa lahat ng dinaanan niya na kung ano-ano, sa palagi ko this time naman okay na si Megan. Saka marami naman kami sa kanyang nag-aaral na mga ngaral na dapat ganito ang gawin niya, ganon. And I saw some development naman doon sa kanya. Especially when the mother told me about Megan. Yung nanay niya sinabi din sa akin na sabi ko, sige, pwede, naisip ko siguro, pwede na. And then, all of a sudden, kumontak siya. Tapos sabi niya, kung pwede dalhin dito yung isa pang apo ko si Mahibe. Sabi ko, siyempre, you're always welcome here. Yun na yung nag-trigger. Balik na.
Ano naramdaman mo nung muli mo siya nakita?
Siyempre, masaya ako kasi kahit naman nung hindi kami nag-uusap, yung pagmamahal ko naman sa kanya, hindi naman nagbabago kasi tatay is always a tatay.
Umiiyak na rito.
Iyak mo, Tay.
Na-touch daw siya kasi nung pumunta siya dyan, ang dami pala ng mga pictures na naka-display sa bahay mo. Yun ang kinikwento niya sa akin. Hindi niya ini-expect na gano'n.
Wala naman na bago dito. Siya lang naman yung medyo nagbago ng landas for a while. Kaya that's why we have to show her na she's making a mistake hanggang sa bumalik sa tamang-tama talaga.
Freddy, isn't it parang coincidental na yung kanta mo na anak, parang gano'n na nangyari sa buhay ni Megan?
Madalas talaga mangyari yan between the parents and the child. Magkakaganyan talaga Ganun din yung relasyon namin ng tatay ko nun, kaya ako nga nagawa yung kanta na yan. Ako yung matigas ang ulo dyan sa kanta na yan Hindi ko naman alam na mangyayari din kay Megan. Sa mga iba pang mga anak siguro dyan, baka nagawa na rin nila yung ganyan.
Pero alam mo ba na meron siyang ginagawang kanta ngayon o ginawang kanta na parang katuloy ng anak? Ang title ng song is Ama. How do you feel about that?
I haven't heard it, Julius, pero sinulat ko din yung anak epilogue na before. Ewan ko narinig na mo na yun, yung anak epilogue, yung nag-asawa ng si anak. Tapos sinabi na niya yung bandang dulo na naintindihan niya na yung magulang niya kasi at that time meron na rin siyang sariling anak.
Tungkol kanina yun?
Yun yung title, anak epilogue. Ginawa ko yata yan, 1990s pa.
Tungkol sa'yo yun, sa buhay mo?
Sinuri ko lang nung nagkaroon na ako ng pamilya. I think 4 na yung anak namin, anak ko that time nung ginawa ko na siya.
So ngayon, mayroon pang kasunod. Ito naman ginawa ni Megan.
Iba naman yan. Experience naman niya yan.
Yes.
Tama si Tay. Iba naman yan. Experience niya yan.
Love you, Tay. Tama ka po.
Love you.
O, panghuli na lang, Ka Freddy, anong gusto mo sabihin sa kanya? Nakikinig siya ngayon.
Well, gaya ng lagi ko sinasabi, Julius, lahat ng anak ko, mahal ko. Ang wala namang pagmamaliw sa pagmamahal ng magulang sa kanyang mga anak.
Ayun.
Wala. Kaya lang minsan, we have to discipline them in a way we think na it's best for them.
And now, si Megan will always be welcome sa bahay mo.
Always naman. Basta tama yung daan niya. Pagkabaluktot ang daan niya, hindi sa makakarating sa bahay.
Ganun pa rin, no? O, tama naman. Tama na. Pero ngayon, anong ma-assure mo sa kanya?
Again?
Ano ma-assure niya? Ito si Megan. Ano ma-assure mo kay Tatay Freddy?
Tuloy-tuloy ang pag-progress and reform. Kasi nanggaling na tayo sa mali, alam na natin ang mali, hindi na natin kailangan ulit-ulit.
Alam mo, pagdabasa mo yung mga comment nung mga followers natin nung nag-post ako na kumain tayo ng early dinner ng mga apo ko. Kung pagdabasa mo yun, they're all praying for you na tuloy-tuloy na yung pagbabago.
Thank you, Tay. Opo.
You are loved.
Sa akin din, Tay. Nung pinost ko pictures natin, daming nagpipray, saka daming umiyak. Ako rin umiyak. Love you so much, Tay. Thank you po.
Thank you. Thank you, Ka Freddy. I'll see you in 3 years.
Thank you, Julius.
I'll see you in 3 years, Ka Freddy.
Thank you.
Bilis-bilisan mo naman. Gawin na lang nating 1 year.
Thank you,
boss. Thank you.
Love you.
God bless you. God bless you.
And my season now is, Megan, you're a winner because Jesus' blood runs in your veins. And I am now no longer a beggar, but I am now royalty because of God. And I feel it. Kasi the doors are opening. I didn't even know that I was gonna talk to you. How will I get in touch with you? I wouldn't know. Hindi ko alam. Pero talagang si God naglalapit. Nilalapit niya yung mga dapat. Parang He'll give you a life of gladness. This is in Ecclesiastes 5 na parang God will make you happy with the work that you do, will give you gladness without painful toil. Meaning, hindi mo pinaghirapan. And yun ngayon ang ni-experience ko. Wala pa rin ako pera, ha? Hindi pa rin ako mayaman.
But you're happy. Masaya ka.
Nagbabas ako, nag-jeep ako, nag-MRT ako para makarating from point A to point B.
Yes.
But thank you, nakakalakad pa ako. At gumagaling ako. I mean, magaling na ako. I had hyperthyroidism. Now, there's just days, it fluctuates. Sometimes I'm short of breath, but it's so little na lang. I'm not even doing my medication every day.
Talaga?
I needed maintenance araw-araw. Now, when I feel it, ako, God, I'm gonna take a walk. Now, I wake up at 6 in the morning. I do my prayers and my quiet time. I do the walk. And prayerfully, parang I'm passing it to my partner also. And he's responding naman. He's responding towards Jesus.
So now you're in the light. You
Yes.
found the light. But to find the light, you have to go through the darkness. Paano ba nagsimula yung darkness din sa buhay mo? Yung dark period din?
Siyempre, it starts when you're a child. Diba? Kasi, of course, my father was not around. Kasi rockstar nga, he was touring the world.
Yeah.
He was young when he became my father. Parang 20 plus pa lang yata si tatay nun. And of course, you come from a showbiz family, which is dysfunctional in a way, right? Kasi nga, no one's around it.
Yeah.
I grew up with yaya, my lola, my titas, ganyan. And so there's a lot of questions na I had to answer it alone by 18 or something or 19. And that is not the age for those things, right? So yung mga ganon, yung mga maraming kulang sa buhay mo, parang feeling mo you are not loved enough, you didn't get the attention enough, yung mga ganyan na you had to go through. Pero kasi in the end of it all, walang may kasalanan yan. Wala kang masisisi.
Yeah.
Kasi yun lang din yung buhay na alam ng magulang mo. Diba? Yun lang din yung alam nila. And of course, he was a touring musician. That's not an kumbaga kung parent yon, di ba? Parang hindi mo nakikita eh. Lumalaki ka, pinapalaki ka ng ibang tao. So, parang feeling ko when I was a teenager, hindi kami magkakakilala, parang ganun. Diyan yung rebelde, kasi it's the age of rebellion, right? When you're a teenager, you have questions, you're going through your adolescence and everything, your puberty. It's a whole, parang it's a period of imbalances, chemical imbalances, hormonal imbalances. And then you don't have your daddy and your mommy to, di ba? They're not there.
Yeah.
And then you see, and then iba yung world mo in school. Kasi in school, when there's PTA, when there's programs, everybody wala sila. Because they're on tour. And then my lola is scared to cross the street. She also cannot come and support me. Mga ganun. So, it's not really a different story. Yung kwento ko ay kwento rin ng karamihan.
Yeah.
Kasi di ba hindi naman lahat perfect talaga yung buhay. Kahit sabihin mong picture perfect, picture lang. Hindi mo pa rin alam ang nangyayari sa likod o sa behind closed doors. You don't know what's happening. And then pag mag-isa ka lalo, when you're alone, who knows what's going through you? Di ba? So parang ganun lang siya na I've come to terms with now that no one is to blame. Kahit ako, I'm not to blame. I am not to blame kasi nag-survive lang ako in a way na alam ko rin. Parang ganun. And we don't know enough.
Pero,
diba?
ang nakita ng tao sa'yo was yung talagang lowest of the lowest point ng life mo.
Yes.
Paano napunta sa ganun?
May ipon kami noon. Inilabas namin lahat kasi okay yung takbo nung online business namin. I was doing US apparels, US oil, essential oils, sweet giant mango seedlings, mga ganyan na nabibenta. So, nung una maganda yung takbo. And then nung yung nag-lockdown 2, nagkaroon ng problem sa products. Kailangan ng quarantine, kailangan ng permit, na hindi na namin napagkasunduan ng mga kliyente namin. So parang basically nasa 280 or 300,000 yung nawala sa amin. And that was our only money at that time. So yun na, wala na. Para akong nawalan ng diskarte. Kasi anong gagawin mo? Bawal lumabas. Hindi ako vaccinated. I didn't want it. And also, my doctor at the time made me a medical certificate na hindi talaga pwede because I'm under observation with my hyperthyroidism. Kasi it was toxic goiter at that time. And then, may lipoma rin ako. Parang lipoma actually is not the cancerous. Lymphoma is the cancerous. Lipoma is just like a liquid mass in the body. Pero, it's still a health issue. So, paano ako didiskarte? O kami, iwan ako ng partner ko that time. Iiwan niya ako na gano'n yung situation. Tapos, pawala na yung bahay namin kasi naubos na yung pera namin. Nag-spiral. Kumbaga, nagpatong-patong na lahat ng hindi maganda. Kung sino na lang ang mag-open ng pintuan sa amin, doon na kami pumupunta. Kasi umabot kami sa gano'n. Dahil nga, nawala na yung diskarte ko, nawala na yung ko eh. Parang nawala ako sa align. Kasi sobrang bigat. And then siya, hindi niya rin alam paano ako magiging okay. Takot din siya na iwan ako kasi nga suicide ako that time. Yun na nga, nakatulog nga lang siya noon, nakarating ako ng building eh.
Before you came to Senator Tulfo, meron ka mga tinirahan na lugar?
Actually, hindi yung tinirahan na ang mga tumutulong sa amin noon, parang pwede lang kami ng ilang days and then alis na kami ulit. Ganon.
At doon sa mga lugar na yon,
isang beses lang yon in a place like that.
Pinagamit kayo ng drugs doon?
It was a place na ganun eh. Mahirap yan i-explain. I don't want to elaborate because I can get in trouble if I elaborate. So I don't want to elaborate, but it's a place na ganun. Ngayon, if audiences won't accept, it's also their prerogative. Diba? Pero yun na nga eh. Ang pinag-uusapan natin ngayon is ano nangyari after all of that. We are now in this moment, here and now. And those days are over.
Okay.
Yun.
What made it different na hindi mo kinaya? To the point na gusto mo nang tapusin yung buhay mo?
Kasi nga, yun nga, nagsasabi na ako sa kanya na, tay, kailangan ko ng tulong mo. Kailan nga kasi, ang pangit ng mga balitang dumarating sa kanya eh. Sa feeling rin niya, pag tinulungan niya ako, binigyan niya akong pera, bibili ko ng droga. Like everyone in the world. Like everyone in the world thought na if you help that person, if you help that person, she's just gonna do drugs. If you help, nagiging ganun kasi yung stigma ng taong ganun ang pinagdaanan. Kaya nga, hindi mo siya, kaya nga sinasabi ko, hindi mo siya masisisi. Hindi mo masisisi si tatay if at that time hindi ako makalapit. Kasi nga, it is the initial and the only reaction towards a person na may ganong record or ganong reputation. Ganon.
So yun din yung time na lumapit ka na kay Senator Tulfo?
Oo, kasi hindi ako makalapit kay tatay.
Kay tatay?
Oo.
Anong in-expect mo nung pumunta ka sa kay Senator Rafi?
Actually, ang in-expect ko, magne-negative ako kasi hindi naman malapit. From the time na nanggaling kami sa ganong area, hindi ganon kalapit when we went to him. So, hindi ko na-expect na
pumila ka, di ba?
Positive ako.
Hindi ka naman pinatawag ni Senator Rafi?
From 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Hindi ako, kasi nga feeling ko na ako, parang potik. So, kahit sabihin ko yung pangalan ko, it doesn't matter, nobody will care. So, pumila na lang kami ng parang lahat ng tao. Parang ganon. And then, hindi na namin maiisip yung span kung gaano katagal, kaiksi. Kasi, pagod na ako. Kailangan ko na ng tulong, pagod na ako. And of course, lalo pang, in a way, parang napasama pa lalo. Kasi, buong mundo ngayon nalaman yung pinagdadaanan ko. So, mas na-judge kesa sa Pero ito nga yung maganda dyan eh. Kasi parang nangyari, half of the world judged me, but half prayed for me. Ganon. So parang there is still beauty at the end of the ugliness. Parang ganon. Kasi nga, sa dami ng nagdasal, biglang si God, yung mata niya, parang nag-zoom in sa akin na, ano ba nangyayari sa anak ko na to? Mukhang kailangan I need to step in. Parang ganon. So, alam mo yon, kung ano nga yun nangyari, for me, burado na siya. And hindi na siya mauulit.
Wala ka ng sama ng loob kay Senator Rafi?
Wala. And in fact, I want to apologize to Senator Tulfo because I wasn't in the right mind those days. And I responded out of spite, out of, disappointment. You can't help it. Tao lang naman ako na I'm imperfect also and nasasaktan din. Kasi, iba yung in-expect ko. Siyempre, ganun yun, di ba? Yung in-expect mo minsan, hindi yun yung mangyayari. Pero, at the end, it was God talaga na moving the mountains.
I guess it was part of your journey na kailangan malaman ng mundo talaga kung ano nangyari sa'yo to make you realize, di ba? Kung ano yung mga maling ginagawa mo sa buhay.
And in that scale of, wow, it's really exposed, no? Like I was naked in front of everyone. So,
how did you feel at that time nung ginajudge ka na ng mga tao?
My writer's block ended. Sorry, because I'm a composer. I'm a composer. So, when everything was happening, sabi sa akin ng partner ko, ba't ikaw umiiyak? Ba't parang yung parang nakikita niya na parang may inspiration pa sa mukha ko. Sabi ko, wag ka maingay. So, I ended up writing, nare-release pa lang kasi ito eh. And I don't wanna sing it now, ha? Copyright ka. I'll sing it later for you off-air.
Pero anong theme nung song na yan?
The title is Ama.
Ama, okay.
It's the continuation of Anak. And it's also in A minor. And when everything was happening, I can hear piano in my head. So when I told Tita Ku all of these things, she and her daughter Isabella bought me a keyboard.
Oh, wow. Bait naman nila.
So I continued writing And I finished Ama in 5 minutes. Parang ganon, with the orchestration.
With the lyrics and all?
Yeah.
Wow.
And because I didn't have a piano nung time na yon, sa phone ako nag-piano app. So sa phone ako nag-compose ng linya. And it's beautiful. Of course it is. Pero I can't sing it now kasi marirelease pa lang siya. There's plans to record it in December with tita ko, pag-uusapan namin. But I will sing it to you off the air later.
Okay.
Continuation. Hindi siya para sagutin ng anak. Or parang, alam mo yung parang gano'n yung parinigan. Hindi. It's the continuation. Kasi in anak, parang it ends with pagsisisi ang sa isip mo at nalaman mong ikay nagkamali. So parang it ends with a guilt. Kasi di ba parang yung anak nagkamali, parang there's this guilt on the anak. And I just don't want it to end in guilt. Parang ganon. I wanted it to somehow continue into a acceptance and forgiveness. Parang ganon. So yun yung tema nung Ama.
Tapos yung anak, song, parang bumagay talaga sa'yo, no?
Oo, pero
diba?
alam mo ang totoo.
Anong storya ba ng anak?
Ang totoong storya niyan, it is tatay's confession to his father. Kasi 79 ako pinanganak. 77 or 78 yung anak eh. So wala pa ako.
Wala ka pa.
Pero syempre, ano na yan, parang stigma na rin on me na, siya yan. Siya yan. Kasi,
para sa kanya talaga yan.
Ano yan eh. Ano yun? Swail na anak. Kung ano nung ganito.
Kasi, ano bang alam ni Ka Freddy? Hindi niya maalam na mangyayari sa'yo to, di ba? So, parang prophetic.
Parang hindi naman niya alam eh.
Pero parang naging prophetic, di ba? So, di ba?
Pero kasi, pag inisip mo, ilan ang anak na gano'n ang pinagdaanan?
Marami. Very common.
Right? So it's not just me. But it's easy to put blame.
Yes.
Parang kailangan may masisi tayo kasi sabi sa anak eh, pag sisisi at sa parang gano'n, kailangan may masisi tayo, parang gano'n. So, ako, when sinasabi yon, hindi ko na tinitake to heart. Kasi alam ko yung totoo eh. Di ba? Kasi may ate ako. My father had someone before my mom. So I have an elder sister. Doon nakabase kasi first time niyang maging ama at those times. Kaya hindi talaga ako. He was also a rebellious child. He left home at 16. I actually left home at 16 also. Anyway, he left home at 16 kasi his father gusto siyang maging mechanical engineer. Parang gano'n. Gusto niya magmusikero eh. So, umalis siya ng bahay. Right? And then yun na, he had his own experience as a musician. Walang kaalam-alam ang ang lolo sa pagiging musikero because lolo was a chief of police and then he was a sastre by hobby. Pero Frank Sinatra daw ang boses. Magaling kumanta. Pero pang ano-ano lang, katuwaan.
Hobby lang.
And then, syempre, nung si tatay ang gusto magmusikero, sino ba naman ang magulang na ipututulak ka maging musikero? At the time of what? The 50s and the 60s.
60s.
Iba mundo nun eh. Diba? So, yun yung kanyang laban. So, that's why he wrote Anak. Kasi, nung nagkaroon siya ng anak, na-realize niya na hindi pala madaling maging tatay. At marami pala akong ginawa na hindi maganda. And then, of course, nung lumabas ang anak, sumikat siya, my lolo was already in his deathbed.
Mahina na.
So, iba na, naintindihan mo, iba yung tema. Kasi siya, dying father. Ang Ama, yung kanta ko, is about yung anak, lumaki na. Naging adult na, may mga pinagdaanan na. At yung ama niya, buhay. Yun yung kwento ng Ama. It's something na aabangan.
Oo nga.
Kaya antayin niyo yan, please. Support.
Uy, mag-guest ka sa show namin, ha?
Of course! I'll bring my keyboard.
Oo.
So, thank you,
Inspired,
Lord.
no?
Because He preserved my talent. He preserved
Pati voice
it.
mo, eh.
Even my voice. If I sing, it's like nothing happened. Parang ganon. So, maraming sumusobra at umaapaw. Ano yun?
Blessings.
Siksik, liglig at umaapaw ang blessings ni Lord sa akin. Mahirap talikuran. Mahirap i-deny na binibless niya ako. So, ang trabaho natin actually, if Kasi nga, nag-aaral nga ako ng Bible ngayon, di ba? I'm back to it and I always pray for a photographic memory when it comes to the Bible. It really says there na He preserves those that He loves and our only job is to respond. Work out the salvation, not work for. If you understand. Yung deeds mo na magaganda sa ibang tao, hindi yun yung magdadala sa iyo sa langit. Ang magdadala sa iyo sa langit is yung you are humble in His feet na alam mo na wala ka. Alam mong you are nothing without Him. So now, that's what I believe. Na, Lord, hindi ko to kaya if I'm alone. Kasi wala ako if wala ka. And He's proving it correctly.
Pagdating sa happiness, na kung 100% yung pinakamasaya, ilang percent yung kaligayahan mo ngayon?
99.999.
Oh my gosh! Wow, grabe. Galing, ha?
Opo. Buhay na talagang inalay ko kay Lord. Kasi like I said, ulitin ko, wala pa rin akong pera, hindi pa ako mayaman. Okay, naglalakad pa rin ako ngayon. Nag-uumpisa ako sa umpisa. Pero alam kong yung umpisa ko pag ganun na. Pag ganun na siya.
Pag nilabas mo na yung Ama na song, ito ba ay senyales na ng pagbabalik mo ulit sa pagiging singer?
Of course,
ito na yun.
Yes.
Start ka ulit.
Yes. Kasi nandyan pa Hindi inalis ni Lord yung talent. So it means, gagamitin niya pa. He will use it to glorify Him. And of course, the song, the messages kasi that I want to impart. Yung madla, mga tao, may mapupulot na aral. May malalaman sila. Kunwari sa mga hindi pa nila alam ng ganun buhay, pag narinig nila, malalaman nila na, ay, may ganun palang klaseng pamumuhay. Okay lang palang maging imperfect. Yung ganun. Yun, parang ganun.
Ano yung pinaka peak ng career mo? Yung pinaka-successful ka? Kailan yun?
It was a good 12 years of my life, Kasi I started touring the world at 16, And tumuloy-tuloy yun hanggang 28 ako. So, matagal din, di ba? Mahaba rin.
Oo.
Pero nung
So, all the money was coming in, no?
Yeah.
Siyempre, dahil mo pera.
And then, syempre, like I said nga, ako nun talagang artist yung buhay ko. I was eccentric, I was all this. I only rented houses. Kasi every 6 to 8 months, I'll be bored with the place. I want to go somewhere else. Saan kaya ako titira ngayon? Boracay. O sige, tara. Parang ganun kausap ko sarili ko. Saan ba ngayon pupunta? Hong Kong? Okay, tara. Kausap ko sarili ko.
Was there a point na naging mayabang ka? Lumaki ulo mo?
Let me think. Parang meron akong katarayan.
Masungit. Parang ganun.
Diva din ako. Pero friends ko din ang mga diva. Like sila Pop, sila Charlie Jaya. Lahat kami kasi, dahil di ba noong 90s, early 2000s, wala pang kapamilya, kapuso. Lahat ng channel, magigest ka dyan. O di yun ang ginawa ko. And also I have acting, I was in the movie Laging Naroon Ka with Angelo and Bobby Andrews. I was in Ikaw na Sana, the teleserye. And then I did a lot of dramas with Mikey Coangco and Donita Rose, Donna Cruz. Ay, kasi lahat ng channel, pati Channel 13, dun yung Regal Shockers. Yung horror. Pati sa horror nandun ako. Tapos yung mga series din ni Philip Salvador, mga ganun. Pero lagi ko kasing role best friend.
Pero lahat nagagawa mo, di ba?
Yes. Kasi I did acting workshop with Gina Alahar, Leo Martinez, and Ann Villegas at the time. So medyo gagaling yung mga yan So I embraced it because I loved it. I love the craft. Ganun ako, I like to learn new crafts. I even know how to speak Hindi because of a hobby. Ganun lang. And then I paint also, I draw, all of that. Talagang malikot. Multipolar.
Artist ka talaga, no?
Multipolar. And the meaning, I just like having skills and I have interest in learning.
So bakit nawala yun?
Hindi naman sa nawala parang...
At nagkaroon ng dark period.
Ang sarap kasi tumugtog at bumiyahe ng bumiyahe. Pag TV kasi, nakaglue ka lang sa Pilipinas eh, 'di ba, sa tapings and ganyan. Hindi ko trip. Gusto ko bumiyahe. I had all the opportunities. And then nung 28 na ako, para ako na burn out din sa music. So kasi I'm a graduate of Bachelor in Science of Tourism Management. So office naman ako. Ganon.
Anong office? Anong
HSBC, mga
ganun
call
ka?
center. O kaya sa Boracay, I will be PR marketing, I will do posters, I will do video editing. I do those things also. So parang ganon, hindi ako nawawalan kahit mawala ako sa eksena. May eksena akong sarili. You do 100 right. But what is magnified is your one wrong, your one fall. And that's where everyone focuses and magnifies on you and forgets everything. It's life, right? Ganun ang tao, di ba? Yung they want to see you fall. And when you fall, they're all, aha! You fell, ha?
Yeah.
Forgetting that tao ka rin. Naging successful ka rin. Alam mo yun?
Yeah.
Kaya, ang bigat ng nangyari, pero ngayon, naiintindihan ko na bakit nangyari.
No regrets sa nangyari.
No regret.
Ramdam namin na on the road to healing.
Yes.
Kasi
On the
even the way you
road of
talk,
recovery.
the way you speak, ibang-iba. Doon sa napanood namin sa TV a few months ago.
Few months lang, di ba? Galing ni Lord, no? Hindi niya pinatagal. So I have to hold on to that.
Yeah.
Kasi siya lang talaga, alam mo, nag-decide lang ako talaga to 100% give my trust to God. That's it.
Anong pwede mong i-share na na advice sa mga dumaraan ngayon sa pinagdaanan mo? Anong gusto mong sabihin sa kanila?
Ang gusto ko sabihin sa inyo is, everything happens for a reason, but you don't know what you don't know. You see? Minsan, akala nyo laglag na kayo, pero ang kailangan nyo lang gawin ay bumitaw. Take that next step kahit di nyo alam yung pupuntahan nyo, and just pray to God that He guides you. Alam nyo, yung Bible, it's not just a book. Everyone needs to give it time because it's the life manual. It really is the life manual because wala pong perpektong tao sa Bible, kahit isa. Even King David, that was the closest to God's heart, the man who had God's heart, he failed. And he failed. Pero nag-decide siyang kumapit sa Panginoon, paniwalaan niyo yun. Kasi hindi lang yun salita. Pagka yung salitang yon ay hinaluan nyo ng gawa, my gosh, you will really experience a life without painful toil. That's it. That's my advice. Huwag kayong matakot. Bumagsak man, ang bumabagsak po ay kayang bumangon ulit.
And the change should start with you.
Yes. Decisions po, ikaw, magsimula sa inyo. Huwag niyong pansinin yung mga maninira sa inyo. Yes, totoo yan. Huwag niyong pansinin.
Pansinin, no? Ganda naman, no?
Yes.
We're so happy for you, Megan.
Thank you, Julius, for
And I feel it. I feel it. You're truly back.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. You are.
Thank you.
So, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. O baka may gusto kang pasalamatan?
Of
What do you want to say?
course. I want to thank Tita Kuledesma because she's really the biggest influence in my life to learn how to trust God, to believe in the power of Jesus' name. And I also thank my father, Ka Freddy Aguilar. Tatay, I love you. Thank you po na everything is okay na. Kasi yun lang naman yung gusto natin na maging okay ang lahat, maging magaan. And of course, yung mga taong tumulong sa akin, pinagdasal ako, maraming fans, maraming followers that continue to pray. Kahit di ko kilala, I would receive these messages na, we're praying for you, makaka-recover ka din. Thank you to all those people. And of course, you for this opportunity, Julius. I really appreciate this. I didn't know that doors would be open for me this soon. And I know na umpisa na to ng maraming magagandang parating for me. Ayun. And syempre mga anak ko, Zane, Anaya, and Mai, I love you, my children. And Zane, I know I'm gonna see you soon. You're 17 na. I know I'm gonna see you soon. I forgive Mamita and your dad. I forgive. I don't want to have kaaway na. It's time to move on. It's time to move forward in life. But with God's grace only. And in the power of Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, teammates. It's me, Mama Clinton, inviting you to also subscribe to my channel, Christine Babos Channel. Marami akong videos na mag-e-enjoy din kayong panoorin, kaya sulit sa oras. Hit that notification bell too. Like, comment, and share. Thank you, teammates.
Subscribe to this channel, like our videos, and post your comments below. And always hit the notification bell.